But thank you very much to have this opportunity to really be among the Muslim religious church. First and foremost, I want to pass my royal greetings to the program director and the esteemed leaders of the Muslim church. Bayete. Bayete. It seems that my entourage today, I don't know, is a little bit sleepy. Bayete. Can you all stand, my entourage? I can't see you. Bayete. Can you all stand, my entourage? I can't see you. Bayete. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, as I already greet all the leaders, esteemed leaders of the church, and also greet the queens and kings of various houses, and the house in large, particularly the mothers and children, I greet you. Salaam alaikum. Salaam alaikum. Am I in the Church of Muslims? Yes. Salaam alaikum. Thank you very much. When I got this invitation, I was really over the moon because it's not the first time I'm getting an invitation in this church. I think I started to be invited at Sightsee in 2021. And that was the first time that I was invited in this church. I have learned a lot by that time, but mostly, which I have realized is that all the practices that I have seen by then, they are exactly my practices in my culture. I was amazed. What is happening here? But prior I go further with that, let me greet the chiefs and the king, the head of the houses that are in the house. I want, actually, when I call the name and the house, I want all of you to see that in my entourage, I'm not the only one. We have head of houses that are also here and also head of other kingdoms. I will start with the head of the house of Abakwena, Tuso Mokwena. Can you all stand and give him hands of applause, please? He is in the house. And then now the second house that is here today with the leader, and where I got also a wife from, and I was so glad to see them actually coronating their king in the Eastern Cape. I think sometime this year, senior chief of Abasia, Nyanyazi. Can you all stand? Can you stand so everybody can see you? Give him hands of applause. He's in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed leaders, we have the most also important leader in the house, stays in Langa. You know, when they call his surname, they call him Gaiga, which is they spelled it wrong. And our fathers accepted that, which it's not supposed to be accepted, but those days, during the time of apartheid, they had to accept whatever it has been written by the supreme white people in South Africa. He was called Gaiga, but let me tell you, he is Nika, not Gaiga, because they cannot say Nika. They call him Gaiga. Ladies and gentlemen, in the house from the house of Amachachabe Kingdom, from Eastern Cape, but based in Western Cape, let's welcome our leader from Amachachabe, Gaiga. Can you all stand? Sukuma mhlakazi omhle bakubone. Masimnike izandla. You know, in most cases, people would love to say, you know, in the Western Cape, there are no chiefs, and most chiefs will always working alone. And you will ask, where these people are really leading? Where are they ruling these people? Yes, they are not recognized, but they say there are chiefs in the Western Cape. Where are they? Where do they stay? Are they known by the community? Who knows them? What is it they are doing in the community? That's the question which was always raised. But I will tell you something that you might not know. The chief is the chief because of the people. The chief is the chief because it was born as a chief. A chief is a chief because one has got a land, maybe, or one hasn't got a land. As long as there are people around you with culture and they are indigenous people, that is the chief. If that chief has been recognized by his own people, is a chief. I recognize people of that nature. Today, from what 99, who will become what 95, we have the leader of SANCO, South African Congress. I think that is an organization in our community, which is very linked with government because it's working hand in hand with ANC. In the House, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Mr. Bonga. Can you stand so everybody can see you, that you are also a leader and you really know that there are chiefs in your area. Ladies and gentlemen, also, I cannot, it will be very much unfair if I can forget my entourage, that there is a community here also from my community, which I would love all to stand. Iphakame ibonwe, and I think nakwicala lomama ngokunjalo ukuthi in Khayelitsha they know that they are chiefs, and we are cultural based. Masiphakame nisibone ngabantu basikhoda sonke from kweyonke nje Khayelitsha olapha. Masiphakame nisonke sibone. Yeah. Thank you very much. As I said that in the Western Cape, in most cases people used to say now chiefs are only men. Let me tell you something. In nowadays, during the democratic era, there are chiefs, even before actually democratic era, there were chiefs whom were women. In the House, from the Muslim religious church, we have a chief from Capricorn by the name of Miss Cooper. Can you stand? I don't even see where she is because I know she's here. Can you stand so we can see you? Is she here? Is she here? Oh yes, so can you stand again? There she is. Can you give her hands of applause, please? She's a chief in Capricorn, and she is known. She is known by almost all chiefs in South Africa. And she's a hard worker. I think the Muslim religious church, they know her, that she's a hard worker. So among us, this is not about the religion. This is about who you are, where do you come from, and your lineage. It's very important. And then I cannot forget the most courageous person, most important person among ourselves. This person is also a Muslim. This person is from, his lineage is from the house of Amakhatebe, Amahlubi. Amahlubi under the leadership of Langal Balele. We heard about the history of Langal Balele. Langal Balele, whom in those days, Langal Balele the first, whom were arrested. And that when he was released, actually he was taken into Odemulen. When he was in Odemulen, they took him to Langa, where he was tortured. But ultimately, Langa is called Langa today because of Langa Balele. And then this man is from that house of that important lineage. I'm talking about Imam Nazim Sekelelo Ntintili. Can you stand? So can you all stand for him, please? He's the one that is always actually inviting us. Can you all stand for him, please? Can you all stand for him? Ayete! Ayete! Anced Luntu! Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not going to introduce all my entourage, but I just wanted just to highlight those who are in the leadership. And I see also Mashia is in the house. The house of Mashia is in the house. Can you stand, Chief, from Mashia? Is Mashia here? Can you pick up your hand? Or they are not there? Actually, what we did in the Western Cape, we formed a United Kingdom. They named it by my name. And I was wondering why. And when he was explaining, he said, Mawetu United Kingdom is not about you only, it's about all of us, because Mawetu means nation. Mawetu means ancestors. So we all have ancestors. Hence we call our United Kingdom called Mawetu United Kingdom of Africa. Now I think it was just an indication of the unification. And I was so glad to see that now today I'm in a church that is aiming at uniting the Africa as a whole. I'm very impressed with this church time and again. When I meet with it, each and every time when I do something, the church will do exactly what I've already thought, what I've already started. Now today we are here, and I've heard that now, I think in 2012 we've tried actually, we're waiting for the king from the Buganda kingdom. And, but unfortunately, because of the politics of those days, that king didn't come down. I have heard that there's a very good relationship between the Buganda kingdom and the Muslim religious churches here in Africa. With that note, I want us to give hands of applause to this church because it's doing a wonderful job. It's doing a wonderful job for Africa as a whole, not only for Africa, but not for Africa only, but also the world in large. And this is the home of Africa. This is a home of our culture. You know, when I grew up, I want to also just to say something a bit. Chief Nazim invited me in one of the funeral. Is it Jumat? Is it Jumat, eh? Yeah, in one of the funeral which took place in the 2021, in 2021. And when I look at the way you bury the body, it is the way we're burying the body in Eastern Cape where I grew up at Willow Vale. And I saw this is exactly the way we're doing things. But this time of the democracy changed everything. We're taken away. Our mindset has been taken away by the westernized culture. As a result, we tend to live what we're not supposed to be living, which is us. And then now it has been forced. We're living a life that is not our life. We should be going back to those roots because now we forgot our ancestors. We forgot our ancestral ways of doing things. That is so actually bad. That is why you see this high death among us now today, because we forget who we are. It is that reason that I was so impressed to come to this kind of invitation, to honor this invitation. I also been approached by the cabinet of Ubawo Uzuma, the national organizer. They wanted to come here because what I did before I made decision that he would love to be here, I look at the constitution of their organization. I realized that now Babu Zuma has changed his mind. He realized that there's a need that the country and the land has to go back to their owners. And their owners is not just an owner because you are a politician, but an owner are the kings and chiefs. It is that reason that I encourage, this kind of gathering to continue, not to start and end today, but this is just the beginning. I think it must proceed. It must continue until to the end, so that our children can also learn from this culture of this religious group. And then, and also realize the lies that were put up front for them. You can see now today, most churches are after money. They are not after God. They are not after the Creator. And the Creator on the other side is fighting the battle with its own cabinet because of what is happening on the land now today. We hope this beginning of this journey will take us far. And I'm so pleased, honestly, to have you and to be here today with you. I honor this invitation. And you can realize that now in our days, you see now there are presidents in our country, which is not supposed to be. Because if you are a president, you take the position of the king. Meaning that all the power that's supposed to be in the king is taken by the president. We shouldn't be having a president in this country. We should be having a prime minister in this country, if they are realistic, if they are here actually to really liberate this country. And this country will never come back if we still have a president. This country will never come back if we have politicians, leads, the traditional leaders. The traditional leaders, kings, chiefs, supposed to be having their own House of Senate in the country and inform the politicians or political parties what is it they have to do, because they have to implement the program of the kings, the program of the people, the program of the chiefs, the program of those who are the esteemed leaders, not them to lead those who are not supposed to be led. As a result, what is happening today? They are fighting for money. They are fighting for wealth. As a result, they ended up going now and bow on the snakes so that they can be rich tomorrow. And if you start actually to be reluctant, they will kill you. It is that reason you see what is happening here in Africa. You can remember the time of the president of Libya. What's happened to him? The Libya leader was killed by Europeans, which is America. And because of, there were people around him whom wanted that position, because the aim was focused much on what they can get, which is money, not what is it that they can make for their people and their land. In our days, we are suffering because of all of that. I think it's the high time that Africa has to be united. Africa rise, Africa rise. Africa rise, Africa rise. Africa rise, Africa rise. Can you all stand and say after me? Africa rise, Africa rise. Africa rise, Africa rise. Africa be united. With that note, all this I'm saying today, it shall be passed all over the world. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not saying this must be under the carpet. This must be shared to whoever wants to hear it. There's a time now that the politics shall come down and submit under the kings. The result, the really kings actually are not recognized. We can sit. We can sit. Today, kings, chiefs are not really recognized. Those who are recognized are those that are eating together. If you're not actually eating with the politicians, you will be oppressed. And then now you will be undermined. But let me tell you something, as long as there is a culture where you're staying, as long as there are people of your nation, if there are people of your culture, that will never be taken away. You'll die with it, and those whom come from your blood will continue fighting. There will be no end of the world. With that note, I thank you. Bayete! 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 Thank you so much.